Hey folks, Brannon Beliso. Are you living your best life? Welcome to another episode of Success Never Sleeps, sponsored by my studio, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. All right. Welcome. It is 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast. I am Brannon Beliso, and welcome to Success Never Sleeps. Success Never Sleeps. Sponsored by who? My studio, simply the best CRM system out there. Market Muscles, the websites, cutting edge websites. Kids love life skills. Yep, kids love life skills. And of course, LC Accounting. Let me throw those sponsors in there. K1's just slowing down on me today. But I'm going to say that again. My studio, Market Muscles, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. Cool. And as you're coming aboard, put in your name, where you're tuning in from, and the name of your school. I always love that. And share. Let me know you can hear me just fine. Put it in the chat. That way we know everybody is all together in this craziness. K1, double check that for me. Make sure we're good. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just broadcasting into the space. So put in your name. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And I would appreciate that very, very much. So I posted something yesterday and I got a lot of response from it. Okay. But before I get into it, let me check on that. Can you hear me? Just to make sure we're good. Can you hear me? Put it in there for me, people. Let me know that you can. I am there now. Yes. Well, what's up there, K1? Okay, so put it in. Let me know that you're here. Share this, because what are we giving away today, K1? What are we giving away? Hey, what's up, Freddie M? More Mando martial arts. Cool. Using my friend's account. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Paul. What's happening? So the winner of today's show is going to get a 1-hour phone call with me. It's valued at $300 for an hour. And I love coaching people. You know, ideas are something that we cultivate. And I love creating different solutions for the challenges that we're all experiencing, not only in our business, but in life. And then you, based upon your values, decide if it has any merit, any legs to stand on, and you act upon it, right? I tell people there ain't nothing I can't give you. You can't give yourself. You just have to make that choice to go after what you want and make that happen. What's up, Jason? What's up, Dawn? So share this right away and you're entered into that. So I posted this video and it said, I don't want leads. And it blew up. You know, it's such controversy because we see so much with social media. We'll get you leads. We'll get you leads. We'll get you leads. And I guess me saying I don't want leads kind of bucks the system, right? Because I don't want leads. I don't want trials. I don't want sales. I don't even want members. I want relationships. Relationships are really what endure the test of time. It's those relationships we've invested in heavy that is what sustained us through this pandemic. You know, we're running close to 600 people virtually right now. And they are the loyal tribe of One Martial Arts. And from that, those raving fans go out there and they tell other people, you know how the numbers game goes, right? They get you freaking, 100 leads. Maybe 10 of them will sign up for a trial, and actually 3 of them will show up. And then from there, you might get 1. The numbers are horrible. And the thing is, it is a numbers game. I realize that. It's like the guy walking into the nightclub, and I use relationships always as my analogy. It's the guy who walks in the nightclub and goes, you want to dance? You want to dance? You want to dance? You want to dance? He'll ask every woman in the room, right? And nobody feels special, hoping somebody will say yes, because it's a numbers game, right? But a relationship's much different. You come into a club, you make eye contact, you smile at each other, send over a drink, they take it, they might smile back, raise the drink, you go over and say hi, on and on. But see, you're already establishing a relationship. But you see that guy in the club. I used to be a DJ, and I used to watch that guy going, man, ain't nobody going to dance with this freaking guy, right? Because he's already positioned himself as, it doesn't matter who, I just want to dance. Right? It's the same thing here. I just want to lead, whether it's a good lead, a bad lead. It makes no difference. Just get me leads so I can say I did my job. And really, I think the winner will be that person that can get you good leads, right? Would you rather have out of 100, 10 people sign up and 3 show up and 1 sign up, right? So you end up getting 1 out of 100, or would you rather have 3 out of 5? I'd rather have 3 out of 5 any day, but I have to be willing to do what? Invest in the relationship. Don't sell me anything from day one. Cultivate the relationship and be willing to give, right? Give. Then we'll have that conversation. It's like when you go out on a date and you make your date pay for half of it. That's not cool. That's not cool, right? But the guy who takes out a girl and he pays for that, they already you're laying some good framework, right, for the relationship, right? So I mean, I could go on and on and on with this, but I'm going to say it again. I don't want leads. I don't. I want relationships. And for that, I'm willing to understand my demographic. For that, I'm willing to take the time and promote benefits, but in a very subtle, humble way. Again, being on a date and this person's telling, I'm perfect, I'm great for you, I'm the best date you could possibly go on, I'm A, B, C, E, F, D, and all that. No. I want to know you. I want to understand you. I want to know your pain points. So I'm willing to listen. And then after listening, I will offer you benefits that I believe will help fulfill your need or your pain point. You see? But are you willing to make that investment? Most people are not. And that's why you opt into some of these big marketers. You get this free PDF, right? This PDF with the 10 top tips how to run Facebook ads. Then you get an email saying, well, if you really want these 10 top tips, then you have to answer these 3 questions. And if you really want these 10 tips, and then they do that song and dance on you, right? And then so you never really see the PDF. You have to watch 50 different commercials and this and that. Then they'll possibly give you that PDF with the 10 top tips to run Facebook ads. I know this is a bit of a rant, but I want you to embrace this, okay? And I really want you to see where I'm going with this. And then they'll send you the series of emails. Congratulations. Number 1 subject line, one of the top subject lines you could possibly put in an email. Congratulations. You're an action taker. You've opted in. And so then you don't reply. Next one is, hey, come on, you've only got 3 days to act upon this. Next subject line. Did I say something wrong? Next subject line. Oh, I guess you're one of those tire kickers. Next subject line. Because they're looking for an emotional connection to engage and connect with you. So whether it's negative or positive, they want an engagement. And so then they go through all those because they don't give a crap about you. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you're about, and they don't care. It's a numbers game, and all they're simply trying to do is make their quota. And that's the challenge with salespeople. It's never a person. You're just a sale. So they're trying to get that, and it's a numbers game. That's why our typical salesperson, right, be it at take your pick. I'm not going to use names. You go back and 3 months later, the salesperson's gone. I don't know any salesperson that's been at the same job, the same company for a long time because it sucks. It sucks to have to sell. Selling is no fun. That's why we don't want to do it in our schools, right? So then I made that commitment 20 years ago that what I want to do is invest in relationships. Cool. And that's going to be one of the subjects I focus on at It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event. So whether I'm an individual for personal development, a small business, a company, or a team, if I focus my life on relationships, the quality of my life is going to be so much better. Whether it's with my significant other, whether it's with my kids, whether it's with my friends, whether it's with my team, whether it's with the small business I run or the company I'm with, if my whole purpose in life is to invest in relationships, the quality of my life will be better. And the prosperity, we won't even begin to go there. I mean, the potential for revenue is unlimited, but you can't put money before the relationship. You might come into my school and say you want MMA, and my job is to sell you and convince you that you want Kempo Karate. No, it's not. My job is to respect the relationship, and if you want MMA, I'm going to send you to the guy down the street. That's an example. Cool? Because the relationship is more important than the sell. All right. Let me say hi to everybody. What's up, Sensei Mish? What's up, Sir? Conrad, Jim and Connie. What's happening? Maximum Martial Arts. Paul. Everybody, how's it going? Cool. So put your questions in the comment. This is Q&A. This is what we are all about. All right, K1, throw the first question in there for me. Let's see what we got today. Okay, we're taking part in a trunk or treat this year. I have questions. How should we decorate? How to best promote our school? Do we wear costumes or school logo t-shirts? Do we pass out promotional cards with candy? Do you have parents donate candy? Any tip would be appreciated. All right, Lacey. So the first thing, depending where you are in the part of the world, we're not even allowed to trick or treat here. So what's going to end up happening in LA, if they catch you setting up trick or treat somewhere, they're going to fine you. So if you're in a part of the country where you can actually trick or treat and everything's cool, right? Kids are out going to trick or treat on Halloween. Here's what we do every year, and it is powerful. We offer free candy to our parents. Now, here's the huge difference. We get a nice 3x5 promotional card. It staples really well to a bag of M&Ms. Those little snack size M&Ms staple so perfectly to our call to action card. And it'll say, bring this in for one free class. That's what it says. One free class. Bring it in, right? And the thing that's unique about this experience is we give our parents a second bag of candy, but there's nothing attached to it, Lacey. You see where I'm going with that? And we say, hey, and the second bag of candy is just for you, to give out. So it shows that we're not just about selling, that we value the relationship, right? Here's one bag with our promotional card attached to it. It's about 25 pieces. And here's a bag of 25 just because. Our way of saying thank you. That goes over huge, Lacey, because it changes the whole tone now. It's not simply give out our candy with the card on it, right? Or, maybe you say, hey, if you give out this bag of candy, I'll give you a school t-shirt. There's so many ways to slice or dice that. Just don't simply take by asking them to give out candy with your card on it without giving something back. Does that make sense? Cool. And then, yeah, I mean, dressing up is really important. If you were a mad scientist, hypothetically, let's say, or a scary doctor, I would put my logo on the scrubs. You could do something as simple as that, right? Again, because we're working with young kids, 4 years old, 5 years old, don't wear something too scary. So when you talk about decorating your car, if it's something that's too intimidating to a 4-year-old, they're not going to come up to the trunk, right? So I want to be mindful of that as well. Scary music, bubble machines, fog machines, go for it. Go for it because you want to draw attention. It's much like your booth, right? When you walk up to our booth, you're not going to see a Bob and Mats and all that. You walk up to our booth, we have a bubble machine going. We have somebody dressed up as Kung Fu Panda. We have technically a face painter and there, a balloon twister. We have board breaking. We have all. It looks fun for kids. So I think that's really important. And you put 5 people with uniforms in front of a trunk, that could be really intimidating, right? Remember, most 4-year-olds are not watching Cobra Kai. Everyone said they're going to dress up as Cobra Kai this Halloween. It means nothing to a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. Make it kid friendly. Kid friendly. Fun music, right? And I just don't mean Monster Mash. You could do Ghostbusters. You could do popular songs. It doesn't have to be. You could do Disney tunes, right? It doesn't have to be scary, haunted music. I think because we as people are reliving our childhood, we make the scariest booth possible. And that's fine for teenagers and things like that. But again, our demographic is kids. I want kids running into the booth. So I'm going to make it as kid friendly as possible. And I say, Lacey, go for it. Freaking go for it. But that's what we do with the candy. And every year we must have 30 parents, passing out candies in some of the best neighborhoods that give out candy. And that's what you want, right? But don't just simply ask them to take a bag with your promo on it, back it up with another gift just for them as a way of saying thank you. Cool? All right. I hope that helps. Next one, please. And please put your questions in the comments. How many of you have shared this? Put hashtag shared if you already shared this live feed. Because in the minute you share this, you're entered into our drawing where you could win a 1-hour conference with me. And that's worth $300. All right, K1, what's my next question? Oh, there they are. Thank you, K1. K1 was busy polling that. Look at that. That's our free trial card, and it's attached to a little snack bag of M&Ms. See how it fits perfectly on that, Lacey? Look at that. And so, when it's being transported and given to kids, the card never rips away from the M&Ms. And when the parents check the candy, it really stands out nicely in the bag, right? And on the other side's a nice graphics, right? A picture of kids. Just you want to see that they see this free trial. Absolutely. Thank you, K1. What's the next question? Cool. Oh, that's Lacey's question, sir. Look at that. Kayvon's going, which way did he go? Which way did he go? Oh, now you're back to me, Kayvon. Where's my next question, man? Help me out. Let's go there, Bubba Doo. There you go. Hey, I'm in the beginning stages of starting my business. Awesome. My question is, in today's world, do I need business cards? What should I focus on my initial marketing budget towards? Those are really, really good questions, Sarah. And I think there's a bunch of different things I want you to address. Number one, as you're starting this business, have you done a business plan? That's the first thing. And there's so many people don't do that. And they get into the build out and they get into all these different things and they run out of money, right? Champagne taste, beer bottle pockets. I want to be very, very clear on the budget that I have. And then people open schools and think magically people are going to walk through the door. You should open your doors with 6 months of reserves, 6 months of rent, 6 months of marketing, 6 months of living wages for yourself if you're the only person on payroll. Because if you're stressed out from day one about making rent next month, you're in a really bad position. So I'm going to encourage you to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. And then in that business plan, do a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What are your strengths going into this? What are your weaknesses? Like maybe a strength is, I've been teaching at the local park and rec for the past year. I know I'm guaranteed 50 students to come over with me. That's a strength. What's the opportunity? I'm in a community with 5 preschools within a 1 mile radius. There's 7 elementary schools within a 3 mile radius. What are those strengths, and what are weaknesses? What are some legit weaknesses? I'm a solo person, right? If I get sick or hurt, man, I'm going to be in big trouble. So that's a huge weakness. What's another weakness? I'm working a day job right now, so I can only open the school from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Great. Right? What are the opportunities? On and on. Then what are the threats? You want to be very mindful of that, Sarah. A lot of people don't do a legit business plan. And another thing in that business plan is projections based upon data in your area. Look at the other martial arts school. This guy opened 3 years ago. How many students does he have now? 100. Data says he can get 30 a year. So reasonably, with real data, I can get 30 students a year if he can. See, so those data is really important. Even when you go get a loan from a bank or you get angel investors. Remember, everything is hypothetical, but you want to have some real data, something that's similar to what you do, whether it's a little gym place or indoor playhouse, whatever for kids. You want to have some kind of data to show up. This is what we do know. This is what we do know. Okay, so getting back to budgeting. If you have a grand opening, I would do direct mail pieces. I am not into print ad at all. I'm really not. But I learned from Roland Osborne many, many years ago when we were in Germany together and we went over the marketing for our second location. We did a direct mail piece just to the demographics within 3 miles of the brick and mortar location, Sarah. We did a direct mail piece 2 months out, 6 weeks out, 2 weeks out, and a week out, because we wanted to saturate the community and let them know that we were coming and we were going to be there. Another great thing we did, which didn't cost anything, we set up a table outside. I watched 24-Hour Fitness do that. We had a table outside with a big grand opening sign, opening soon, and we literally did lessons on the sidewalk. We had jigsaw puzzle mats out there. We did lessons. We talked to people, and we were already getting signups ahead of time. Of course, social media is a big one. You can run Facebook ads. I would look for parenting groups in your community and ask them politely, hey, we're a new business coming in. We're kid friendly. I see that you're parents of, the Millbrae area. Is it cool that I make this announcement? Right? I would go to the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, any Chamber of Commerce, and join those organizations. Every other business in your community should know that you're coming to set up. And that's free. That's just an investment of time, right? I would also consider going to every elementary school and let them know that. The line is long for that. That's why sometimes we didn't start that way, because the line was long. Hey, I want to do a school talk. Oh, that line's got 10 different martial arts schools and, people in line. Hey, I want to come be reader of the day. Well, that line's long too. So there's a million ways to do that. But the big thing I will tell you, do not market one way to 70 people. The worst thing you could do with a limited budget, Sarah, is put all your eggs in one basket. I'm going to put all my money into direct marketing and do a mailer. Please don't do that. And there's a lot of things you could do that's grassroots, Sarah. Like, for instance, this is old school, doing a flyer with a tear off number on the bottom. You know how many laundry mats you could hang that in that are free? Go into Jamba Juice. They have a bulletin board, a community bulletin board. So does Starbucks. There's a lot of places out there where you could hang this very basic flyer, right? So that's another way you can go. Thing that I recommend, we have these great coloring sheets. You can take this coloring sheet, Sarah, and on the back side of it, you put the kids' menu for the restaurant, and you just say, courtesy of Sarah's Martial Arts, or whatever you're going to call it. There's another way to market, right? There's so many things you can do that don't cost a lot of money. If you're allowed to, a little 3x5 card, which you can go to Dojo Muscle to get done with Chris Pirelli. You can get that done as well, and maybe you can put it on the windshields of cars, right? So there's so many things that you really want to saturate your community and get your name out. Maybe you get yourself a tiger mascot, and you put the tiger in with one of your uniform tops with your logo on it and a belt. Then you park him on a street corner, right? And he's giving out flyers for free trials. Again, that's just time oriented. It's not costing a lot of money. But when you hit me up from a magazine and say you want me to pay you, $775 for 6 months for a half page ad, I'm going to laugh at you, because that's not even realistic, right? And when you start out and you have a very limited budget, understand your greatest asset is you, Sarah. So you getting out there in the community, saturating it with the tear off flyers, the ones on the windshield. You can even go put them on the doorknobs. You just physically cannot stick anything in a mailbox. Please don't do that, because that is considered against the law, because you didn't pay to have a stamp put on it. You know what I mean? But you can get door hangers, and you can go to just that, within your community, and you can do door hangers. That's fine as well. Okay. So is that a lot there? And then, of course, there's nextdoor.com, which is community oriented. That works really, really well, really well. There's just look for it. There's so many parenting websites online in your community. Patch is another one that are out there. Just don't spend the money on somebody big like Yelp or things like that, because you don't have that budget, and you're going to run out of money really, really quick. Okay. That's a lot, right? And then going back to the business cards, you could do it really cheap, $30 for 100 cards or whatever, but I don't believe a business card is necessary. I would rather send them to my social media, to my website, something of that nature. To me, that word. Or if I meet you, I'm going to go find you at social media and then, invite you to like my business page. Cool. I hope that helps. Yeah. Hey, people, I see a lot of people on. Come say hi. Let us know that you're there. Don't just sit there back in the shadows. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Do a quick commercial break here. I want to thank my sponsors, my studio, Tulay at the gang out there, always on the cutting edge, always bettering their product. I really dig where they're at. When they came out with the new business app, we use it. We hold our phone up and it captures credit card information. That's just, the way it should be. If you're not leveraging technology, then you're really missing the boat. Market Muscle, Steven Reinstein, they just came out with new versions of their website. Who's going to totally revamp their websites? All the time. So he's on the cutting edge. Kids Love Life Skills, we're moving to a subscription-based model. It's powerful. Kids Love Life Skills is simply, to me, it's been part of my life's work. If you're not promoting character development in your school, you're going to miss out, because then you're just like 6 weeks of soccer or anything else. We're not fitness. We're not a class. We are a program. You come to us, we are One Life Skills and Martial Arts programs. Our programs, our black belts go to Stanford, Cornell, UC Berkeley, USC. Those are the types of things parents want to hear. So character development is vital. Of course, LC accounting. My sister's doing 7 hours of jiu-jitsu in Texas today. She's a martial artist. She does good business and she's disciplined. I wanted to do something the other day and she said, nope, can't afford it. Got to watch it. And I take her advice. Yeah. Conrad, this is a big one. Sensei Mish, how would or do you collect the data on what other schools are bringing in new student-wise? I'm just saying head count, the information's out there. I mean, if you call as a parent, call another school. But see, I don't do that. I mean, I understand, and I know this is disruptive behavior, Sensei Mish. I don't care what the guy down the street does. I don't care what he charges. It's irrelevant. I'm running my own race. And I think that's the success of our businesses. I'm not looking at, hey, how many students does he have? You can gather that data. You can have someone call as a parent, or you call as a parent and just say, hey, I'm thinking of enrolling my kids. How many kids in a class? Well, we have 10. Awesome. Your average class size is how big? 10. Great. Go look at their schedule online. Oh, they do 10 classes a week, right? Every kid's coming twice a week. So they have 50 students. See how simple that was, right? That's simple. But I don't spend a lot of time with that, honestly, Sensei Mish. But I said it to Sarah, or you're opening this new school and you want to do that business plan. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard to find out that information. Remember, if you want that info, it's out there. It really is out there, right? Conrad, I had a new student ask for a discount on their income is affected due to COVID. What would your response be to that? Conrad, we do a limited amount of scholarships every year. That's it. And if you show me your tax returns, if you show me that your electrical bill, so I know that you're not living in a mansion, and a check stub, a paycheck stub, then you're serious. You're serious about the scholarship. But once those scholarships are exhausted, then some people will go to different organizations like the Mosaic Group. We work with a group called Oak Grove, which subsidizes kids that are in charter schools and things like that. So there are organizations out there, but you are not a charity, you are a business. Please be mindful of that. And I say that very heartfelt. We've donated tens of thousands of dollars to the elementary school system and to our community, and we give away a certain amount of scholarships. But one time we did that, and we want to be mindful. You have to just follow up on that, because the parent was struggling in the beginning. The next thing they're pulling up in a brand new Beamer because their business took off, and they never told us, guess what? I'm doing fine now. I can pay for lessons. So you want to monitor that, Conrad, and make sure they're on the up and up by reviewing it on an annual basis. Something of that nature is something I would recommend. Hey, what's up, Adam Parker from the UK? But be mindful, Conrad, we need to make money. We really need to make money. And think about it. And the person asking for the scholarship is probably talking to you on an iPhone, right? A brand new iPhone. They have no problem doing that, right? They have no problem going to Starbucks. And I'm not saying this in a malicious way. Just people have different priorities, right? So you want to be mindful of that, Conrad. But there's genuine people out there, and I take good care of them, and we offer them scholarships, and we do that. So have a scholarship plan in place, Conrad, but take it on a case-by-case basis. Cool? Yeah, I hope that helps. Freddie, I just wanted to mention your rotating curriculum seminar was awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's Paul, actually, on Freddie's account. Yeah, and you had 2 questions in relationship to that, right? So go ahead. If you haven't gotten that, I'm on rotating curriculum like 6.0, right? So I'm always improving upon creating rotating curriculum in your school. If you don't have rotating curriculum, I highly recommend it, because it really offers you a unique opportunity. Oh, there you are. So those are the ones we did this year so far. Rebranding, rotating curriculum, how to get 550 online students, distance learning camps, and effective systems. We're in the trenches here, and we do all these things in our school: distance learning camps. We're teaching outside, we're teaching online, and we're teaching indoors now. So we're deep. And it's firsthand experience. I don't pull this stuff out of my behind. I'm in the trenches. I went from teaching 2 hours a week by choice, if I wanted to back to working 10, 15-hour days. And it's cool because it's what we need to thrive in this pandemic, right? And I'm cool with doing that. So what are your questions? Post them in for me, Paul. Post them in. Cool. And Kayvon, while we're waiting on Paul's questions, can you put the next question in there for me, sir? And everybody, you sharing this, I see lots of people coming aboard. Please share this with everybody that you can, and it enters you into a drawing to win an hour phone call with me, valued at $300. All right, so here's Paul's question. I have broken down the curriculum, but there are basic techniques that we usually do every class so we can master them. Horse stance, basic punches and kicks. If we break down the system I teach, right, 3 to 6 moves every stripe, and you only have an hour to teach this in a 2-week span. But it's not just an hour to teach it, right? You also have to drill it, Paul, and you also have to tip them out. So if they're coming 4 classes a week, Paul, right? They're coming 4 classes a week. Class number 1, for 45 minutes, you teach the 3 to 6 moves and potentially start drilling it. Their B day is potentially sparring, isn't it? Right? So they come back the following week on their A day, which is curriculum day. I got to drill, and make sure they tip out. So really think about that. Now, I asked Paul this question earlier when I first saw it. I said, are these techniques, the horse stance, the kicking, the basic punching, are they in the form or the 3 to 6 moves that you're teaching in the stripe? And he said, yes. So there you go. There you go. Say hypothetically, you're doing a combination, Paul, that has jab, cross, front kick. And a front kick is one of your basic techniques. What would it look like to stand in front of the bag and say, okay, we're going to do jab, cross, front kick, jab, cross, front kick. All right, I want to focus on this front kick for a second. Everybody give me 10 front kicks on that bag. 10 front kicks, go. See, so you could be working on a 3 to 6 move, Paul, and just highlight and spotlight one element of those 3 to 6 moves. We do it all day long. Another option is you do it in the basics. It's not uncommon for us to do a 2-week period and everybody earns that tip. Let's call it the yellow tip. Then they come back for the next 2-week cycle and their warm up is that yellow stripe they did 2 weeks prior. Does that make sense? But I don't think it's necessary to allot a whole bunch of time on that one technique if you're going to be doing that technique in class. But make no mistake, if I want to take those basics and put them in my beginning curriculum, which we did right away, in our white belt curriculum, there's an exercise that has nothing but front kicks. In our white belt curriculum, there's an exercise that has nothing but punching. There's exercises that have nothing but horse stances. I really use the beginning curriculum. There's a very basic form, but we use the white belt curriculum to start laying the foundation, because we know, Paul, if they have a great foundation, you can build anything upon it. But I do realize I have 3 to 6 moves to teach once they get out of white belt and they're in level 1, which is our yellow belt, yellow, orange, and orange belt curriculum. So there, I understand that technique's already part of the form or the 3-move self-defense thing. So they're going to do it there anyways. So is it necessary to drill those basics over and over? No, because it's part of the curriculum they're learning. You could put it in the warm-up as I shared, and you can highlight it in the middle of a 3 to 6 move combination. Does that make sense? Is that all good? Let me know that works for you. Yeah, good. You got that, Paul, right? I love rotating curriculum. Again, I learned it from Roland Osborne a little over a decade ago. And when he introduced that to me, the light went off. I remember, I'm an old dog, man. I was hearing this rotating curriculum, and I've been teaching Kenpo in that location for over 20 years, right? For over 20 years. And once Roland showed it to me on paper, it made great sense. And since then, I've been committed to rotating curriculum. I've mastered it. We're on 6.0, and I love it. I just love it. I love it because it produced better martial artists. And I think that's really cool about that. I think there was another question about rotating curriculum. How do you deliver a rotating curriculum with multiple levels in the class when you're the only instructor? Jason, I don't do that. I would never do that. I would have one level, and within one level is 3 belts in that class, Jason. So hypothetically, if you have a level 1 class and it's yellow, orange, and orange belts, they're all doing the same curriculum, sir, because those are level 1 students. Do we mix a level 1 and level 2 class together? No, not unless I have 2 instructors on duty, which is what we're doing outdoors right now because the classes aren't that big. So we can do 2 levels in one, but we have 2 instructors, sir. If you're the only instructor and you have 2 level classes at the same time, you're the rotating curriculum. You go from level 1 to level 2, level 1 to level 2. And I'm not going to pay you premium dollar for that, sir, because you go to level 1, you teach them a little bit and say practice. I come over here, I work with level 2 for a second, and I say practice. I'm not going to pay you premium dollar for that, sir. Simply, I'm not. So I would advise you to redo your schedule and make sure your schedule has a beginning class standalone. Level 1, standalone. Level 2, standalone. Level 3, standalone. Level 4, standalone. Now, as you get to the upper belts, if you have fewer students, Jason, then can you potentially mix a level 3 and level 4 because they're older, more mature, and disciplined, and they will practice? Absolutely. So you can do that, and you're still rotating. But what I'm mindful of when I'm doing that, I spend legit 30 seconds here, practice, 30 seconds here, practice, 30 seconds. So you're moving so quickly, they have no downtime to stand there and do nothing. They will practice. And it's not uncommon if I'm ever in that position, which we are sometimes right now during this pandemic and smaller classes, I'll be working with level 2 and I'll say, please practice, you guys, keep moving there. Da, 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 da. So that happens too. But in an ideal world, if you're going to get premium dollar from a parent, you want to have the class strictly one level, sir, if you're a single instructor by yourself. Cool? All right. I hope that answers your question. Yep. Adam's saying we split the levels. Good, 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 good. Yeah, it is so much better than the old way. All right. Patrick, do your students earn stripes and move on from those techniques, or do you offer your students review days to go back and continue learning on the moves in your rotating curriculum? Let me answer that question first. What we do is in a 3-month period, Patrick, we do 1 to 6 stripes. In month 4, we review it. So during month 4, they're reviewing all those 1 to 6 stripes. But make no mistake, in any 2-week period, we only focus on that stripe. So the first 2 weeks is yellow. The next 2 weeks is orange. We won't see yellow stripe again until we're in that 4th month of review. But if you get it, like I was saying to Paul, aren't fundamentally we're really building upon those other techniques, right? If yellow stripe had a front kick, odds are brown stripe's going to have a front kick somewhere, right? If there's a back fist on orange stripe, odds are there's going to be a back fist somewhere else. So they're still getting it. And that's the big thing I recognize. Do I need to go back and do this front kick thing every time on yellow stripe? No, because I'm doing it in the form on red stripe and brown stripe. So I don't believe that's necessary. But if you do 3 months, 6 stripes, month number 4 is review and testing. Now, the big thing that has shored that up for us is once you move into black belt prep, we spend a whole year reviewing all of that, Patrick. Everything you did from white belt on through. And guess what? We are producing better martial artists because everything they did as a white belt, they're doing somewhere as a yellow belt in some variation. They're doing somewhere in year 3 and year 4. So we're finding it's just a matter of reviewing what's sitting in the recesses of their memory, and it's just a different sequence. It might be jab, cross, front kick as a white belt. Then as a higher belt, it's a jumping front kick with a spinning reverse kick and a back fist. Bottom line, it's still got a freaking front kick. It's not going to make that difference. So once we were able to do that, it made a huge difference. A huge difference. We have better martial artists. Their techniques are crisper, and they're actually getting them drilled because those techniques are everywhere in any given year. I hope that helps. What's the second part of Patrick's question? Can you put that back up, please? We have not started it yet, but I'm interested in how to teach each set of techniques in only 2 weeks of classes. Many times that's only 2 classes for my students. Okay, Patrick, please get my rotating curriculum, as Paul's saying. It's really cool. Get that and watch it again and again and again and again. But fundamentally, you have 45 minutes. There's a warm-up for us, there's a match set, and there's a game at the end. So we have a 30-minute sequence to teach 3 to 6 moves, which is what the mind can truly comprehend. Every study has proven that. 3 to 6 moves, sir, right, in a 45-minute period. So if you broke down that 45-minute period, say fundamentally, let's say 3 techniques, right? I have 30 minutes now because warm-up, stretch, game at the end. 30 minutes, 3 techniques, 10 minutes a technique. And within that 10 minutes, I've taught it to you, I've reviewed it with you, and I've drilled it a little bit. Next 10 minutes, second technique, teach, practice, drill, review. Last 30 minutes. So see how I did that? And then their B day is potentially sparring. So you can do the warm-up of your sparring by reviewing that stripe they did on Monday. Following week, on that Monday, they're going to be tipping out. And if they don't tip out, then that Wednesday before sparring in their warm-up, we're going to tip them out again, right? We're going to tip in full gear. They're not going to tip out then put on their freaking gear. That's too much downtime. I watch school owners do that all the time. I say, stop it. Put on the gear right away. They could do their tip in their gear. And that part's relevant. But please pick that up. And K1, put the link up there or put it in the thread for them. You definitely want to get my rotating curriculum. 6.0, the one I did recently, probably one of my most attended webinars this year. It was awesome. It was awesome because I'm at 6.0. Once I embraced the concept of rotating curriculum, the goal was to master it and master it and master it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Freddie, Paul's asking again. Also, what is the reason for signing the stripe? I know you tested month 4, but wouldn't you just test and give them the stripe after they test for it? No, absolutely not. I'm going to tell you why. There's learning week, there's earning week, and there's testing month. Week 1, we learn the stripe, Paul. Week 2, you earn the stripe. So as far as class management goes, if I'm not giving you those stripes until month 4, I have no idea in a 3-month period where you're at, Paul, right? If I finish a 2-week period and I look out at that class and nobody has my yellow stripe, we're in bad shape. I want to look out after a 2-week period and everybody has that tip. And if they don't, then I'm going to tell them to schedule a complimentary 15-minute virtual private. I'm going to tell them to look at their curriculum videos because guess what? We're on orange stripe. We're not doubling back in the middle of a class and doing yellow stripe for you, sir. We're on orange stripe. So at the end of the 3-month period, Paul, I can look out at the room and be able to look at their belts and know where they are. In an ideal world, after 3 months, Paul, they all have 6 different colored stripes on their belt. And if they don't, guess what I'm making sure happens? And that's why we do one month of review and testing. That 1 month of review and testing is also makeup stripes. Now, so you come in there, you got all 6 stripes, we're in month 4. As you pass it in class, at the end of class, this group, you all passed, line up. We sign the stripe. So again, as we're progressing through month 4, Paul, I can look at the back of anybody's belt and see what's signed off. And the kid and the parent can too. It's instant. We have no paperwork in belt testing. 0 paperwork now. Wouldn't you love that? So the parent, I had a conversation with the parent yesterday about that. Go, yeah, they have 4 of the 6 stripes. They still need these 2 more testing out on. We said, absolutely, we'll take care of that. See, we can have that type of instant conversation. The kid will say, I got all 6 stripes. I just need fitness. Boom. So there's that type of dialogue because everybody's empowered, Paul, because they have that belt, they wear that belt, and that's why we don't sign it until the testing month. But they get the stripe prior so we know where they're at any given time in a 3-month cycle. Does that help? Boom. Yeah, I love rotating curriculum. It's a real big one for me. Huge, 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 huge. I just love my rotating curriculum. I am in show. Still time for bonus trade. This is important. My financial advisor is Sam On, and stocks are something I'm very heavy into. I've done pretty well this year because of it, but you have to be on top of it. So that's why I got to listen to Sam too. Bob Poole, which Kempo system do you teach? I teach a system that was under great grandmaster Ralph Castro. Ralph Castro, Ed Parker trained with William Chow in Hawaii, right? Ed Parker came to the mainland. Ralph Castro came with him. Ralph Castro stayed with him up to, I think, 7th degree. He got a 7th degree from Ed Parker. Then he decided, as Ed Parker, was cultivating his version of American Kenpo, that he wanted to stay truer to the Shaolin roots of William Chow. But you know what's neat? We've got the poking set, right? We've got that one, right? Right? We do that one too. And I saw Ed Parker do that at YouTube. So there's still some similarities, but we're an offshoot from Ed Parker. And as I said, Ralph Castro circled back and went back to Chow and does a lot of the more of those forms. Yep. So yeah, we are directly correlated. There's a picture floating somewhere. I think it's the 72, 73 internationals where Ed Parker is actually giving me a trophy. All right. So Kwan, post the next question. What's the next question you got for me there? Post it in, post it in. How do we market in these times? I've seen ads for schools to purchase flyers with martial arts wearing masks saying we want you back in class. My thoughts on that. My thoughts on that. Hang on one sec, folks, because this is mega important. You guys love me? Bear with me for a sec. I know K1's looking at me like, what's this crazy man doing? Hang on. Because when Sam talks to me, it's like E.F. Hutton. You got to make stuff happen. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. All right, thank you, K1. Isn't that cool? All right, so put the question back up. I actually just made a trade, which needed to happen. So I think, William, the biggest thing for me there, okay, is we are dealing with the fear and the uncertainty that's come with this pandemic. I think it's very important to number one, we want you back in class. I would never put that. The bottom line is we were never closed. We simply moved from live classes to virtual. And that's why I think we're still standing. We didn't say we're physically closed. No, we just simply say, hey, we're going virtual, folks. Now we're going to the park. Now, guess what? We can do indoor classes. But I think the safety thing, because there's the whole controversy of mask versus no mask. We know that. I mean, we see it every day in social media. I believe that it's really important to promote safety and whatever that is, right? Here, I think kids 3 to 11, it's optional. If it's feasible, they have to wear a mask. It's always so gray. We posted a thing at social media. Everyone's wearing masks but one kid. And somebody went off. That's so unsafe. That kid's not wearing a mask. Why is he not wearing a mask? Da, 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 da. Next time we post a picture of everyone wearing a mask. You guys are snowflakes. You don't have to wear masks. It's discriminatory if you make someone wear a mask. It's going to be all of that, William, sir. But I think it's really, really important in your marketing that we understand safety. And whatever it is, I always fall back on this is what the CDC guidelines have told us to do. We are simply being a responsible business. We're following the CDC guidelines, and that's it. That's it. That's it, right? That's it. That's all you can do because you got 3 verticals right now, and we're running all 3. 1, virtual. People who will not come to class. 2, outdoors. People that are simply comfortable with outdoors. 3, in class. We have a certain amount of people that are comfortable coming to class wearing masks. There are 3 different audiences right now. And if you are smart, I'm going to use that word, William, you cater to all 3. All 3. All 3, because remember, we're trying to shore up our income. So you do what you got to do. And I think teaching on all 3 platforms, which we're doing right now, and that's our new ad space, indoor, outdoor, virtual, indoor, outdoor, online, because it rhymes better. Indoor, outdoor, online. It has a better feel. I think it's important to do that. I don't think it's too pushy. I think it's prudent. But again, there's parts of the country where they're not wearing masks anymore and the doors are wide open. So should you post something wearing a mask? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's no exact science. We haven't been through this pandemic. And is it pushy or not pushy? Maybe if you're in an area where some people like to wear masks, some don't, I think that's important to cater to both. But am I going to be the guy who posted the Facebook thing that said, we don't wear masks here. If you don't like it, go somewhere else? I don't think I would do that. I don't think I'd bring politics into this game at all. I think I would know my demographic really well, William, understand their pain points, and work with that. Remember, we're here in California. We're just now, after 7 months, opening for indoor classes, using the word opening in San Francisco for live classes. The whole don't wear a mask thing here, it does not go over. It simply does not. So we are going to cater to our demographic. We're going to respect their position, and we're going to support that. It doesn't matter what I think. And I try to tell my friends that. Come on, everyone else is open in the nation, but you snowflakes in California. That's irrelevant. I simply follow the CDC guidelines and whatever the local and state government offers us. That's it. That's it, right? So that's kind of like my question for that. But I want you to be mindful of that. Cool? All right. Next. What's our next question, sir? Landon, what is a good number of students to set as a goal for each month to help make our school grow? I have heard anywhere from 8 to 15 new students per month. Your thoughts? I say Landon, focus on the relationship because the minute you put a quota, it's nice to have a goal, but then you pressure your team. I know people, and K1 will vouch for it. He used to work for an organization where if you didn't make your quota, you didn't get your bonus. You didn't get your bonus, you don't pay your rent at home. I don't work that way. We're not like a gym. We don't have quotas. Right now, because of this pandemic, we've gone back to the mindset that we are a brand new business. Every student we get, we send emails to each other and we celebrate as a victory, right? Last month, we got 47 new students between two locations. That's a high number. The month before that, I think we did like, 30. I don't think that's the variable. I think it's more important that you focus on keeping your students. You get 40 students and you lose 40 students, you're at net zero that month, sir. So yes, you need to be getting new students, but I think you also need to spend a lot of time and effort on retaining your students. Again, and I talked about the relationship, and that's just simply very important to us. It's like focusing on leads. I don't want leads. I said that from the top of the show. I don't want leads. I don't want trials. I don't want sales. I want relationships. So every day you have a unique opportunity to focus on the relationship. And once you get into numbers, it's not about a relationship. It's about meeting quotas. Cool. But it's nice to have a goal, right? We had 285 students in Millbrae in our first year. That's data. Can I use that same data today? No, because we have a pandemic. So some people will come in quickly, some people will come in slowly. It will be what it will be. But we are going to consciously to have a positive mindset to grow our tribe of raving fans. We are going to celebrate the victory of every single student we gain right now. Every single student. It keeps the morale high. It lets us know we're moving forward and we're doing and fulfilling our purpose of helping people live their best life. I know that's probably not the answer you want to hear, but yeah, the industry says if you're averaging 10 to 20 new students a month, you're doing really good. Be a disruptor, beat to the sound of your own drum, and you determine how many students you want. But again, do not allow that to supersede the relationship. Cool? All right. All right. Next, what's next? Looking to move our facility where we need to soundproof ourselves from our neighbors. Kicking paddles, yelling, and music during classes may make it a deal breaker. Have you ever soundproofed any of your schools? I'm going to tell you. Darren. I'm going to tell you. All right. We have fitness kickboxing. It's really loud. I moved into my first location, right? There was people above us. We were down below. I kid you not. At the time, I was still doing singing telegrams, birthday parties. I'd sing at weddings for ceremonies. I was on a ladder painting and I was singing an Elvis song, right? And the guy from upstairs comes down and he says to me, "Can you keep it quiet down here?" I said, "What?" He says, "Well, your singing is loud and I'm a lawyer and I'm doing my work upstairs." And I looked at him, I said, "Do you have any idea what we're going to be doing down here?" And he said, "Yeah, you're going to you're going to do some kids classes." I said, "Sir, we have fitness kickboxing with a sound system. We have kids keying and yelling and kicking bags. It's going to be a lot louder than me singing." And he was pissed off. So he sued the landlord and he lost because we were zoned where we could make a reasonable amount of noise up until 10 p.m. Okay? He lost, he moved, I took over the whole building, which is where we are today. Fast forward, before this pandemic, we have a tutoring center next door to us who complained about the noise in our school during kickboxing. So we met with the landlord, we met with him. Now we were entertaining because we have a 24-hour fitness upstairs. They play music. We're zoned for this. So we didn't even have to take this meeting, but we took this meeting. Same issue, sir. Same issue. So I want you to be extremely mindful, Darren. I think it's a deal breaker. Unless the landlord's going to pay for that sound reinforcement, it's a deal breaker, a huge deal breaker. Because if any way your business is hindered because you can't play music during a birthday party, you can't kick a bag hard, you can't key loud, that's already reducing your Disney experience, correct? Remember, we want the Disney experience. You want, as a new business, you want to be optimal in every way. And if you can't make noise, forget it. How many gyms out there have fitness rooms loud? They can't completely soundproof them. There is no such thing as full soundproofing. I was a musician. I was a recording artist. You put me in the best sound booth in the world, and that noise still bleeds. It still bleeds. Nothing is 100% soundproof. And I'm going to tell you, sound reinforcement can be upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars. You think you're going to throw some eggshell up with some foam between the two walls and that's going to do it? It's not. It's not, sir. It's not. So you want to be mindful of that. So if it were me, Darren, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Okay. Next question. Oh, we only got 5 minutes, K1. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So give me one more question and then we'll wrap that up. Okay. Thank you, Jason. I love the support, by the way. Let me see. Order filled. Cool. All right. So, I got It's Time Live Elevate coming up, you guys. I want you and your team to be there. So I'm giving you and your whole team for the price of one single ticket. Why am I doing this? Because the only condition is you and the team have to watch it together. It's a day and a half. What a great team building event. Great conversation in between breaks. Great way to plant seeds to create a collective mindset. A collective mindset. Because make no mistake, this is a brave new world. And I was talking to Sam yesterday about it. If it's not the pandemic, it's going to be something else. I've gone through, in my 20 years of business, the mortgage crisis, 9/11, the dot-com, a recession, and now this pandemic. And if you don't have the right mindset going forward in this brave new world, man, we're going to be very, 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 very challenged. And the reason I saw that, thank you, Maximum Martial Arts, Team Maximum is going to be there. I know that Team Believe is going to be there, right? A lot of teams are going to be there. One of the things we've had the very unique opportunity in this past 7 months, we had to lay off 30 people, right? The first were the kids who only worked weekends, birthday parties. That's easy, right? Because the money doesn't matter. They live at home. They're high school kids. Second grouping, we let go, made more money with unemployment than the hours I couldn't give them. Third group, I kept. One of my guys bought a house during this pandemic. His brother bought a brand new car. Now, but these 10 people and myself, in the first 4 or 5 months, it was just us. And I can tell you, the clear purpose and why of living your best life, of figuring out how to engage and connect virtually and master it. We were in love and we talked about that. I'm running with 10 people that get it. We're not trying to get on the same page. We're not pushing a big rock up a hill. We had 10 people that understood living your best life was their sole purpose. And we got in there and we mastered virtual. We dialed that in equipment wise, presentation wise, execution wise, where we were engaging, connecting even better than we could in live classes. And as I looked around, because we moved the studio to San Francisco, and then I had a chance to reflect. And I recognized the power of the culture, the true power of the team, the loyalty, the investment of what a collective team can do under the most adverse situation, the most adverse situations. And so I want the team to be there for It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event. I want you and your team to be there. So you have until midnight tonight. Tell anybody else out there for the price of a single ticket. You and your team can watch this. But the goal is, please, the exercise is watch this thing together. 4 hours on Saturday, the 14th of November, 8 hours on Sunday. Plan lunch for them. You only get one t-shirt with that price. I'd encourage you to buy, order the other Disruptor t-shirts or your collective and get in there and plant the seeds in your team, because that team is going to bring ideas to you later, 6 months down the road. That team will have a disruptive mindset. That team will be primed, right? For 2021, that team will be primed for any changes that are going to come beyond this pandemic with the vaccine, whatever else hits us, hurricane, fires in California, teach outdoors, teach indoors, teach on a roof. It makes no difference, because your team's mindset and collectively, your team is functioning as one. So that's why we're doing this. The deadline, though, is midnight tonight. But I can't see, it makes the hair stand up on my arms. I mean, I witnessed this because I was part of this team, right? Who I honestly, I hadn't seen in probably years collectively, not this core team, honestly, years, because of the way I position my business. But the example of my leadership, and that's going to be a whole segment too, on contemporary leadership in this pandemic or any crisis is going to be powerful. So, really, if you're an individual, you're a team, you're a small business, you're a company, you need to be at It's Time Live, the virtual event. This is not simply a martial arts event. It's beyond that. It's about personal development. It's about culture building. It's about values. It's about mind mapping. It's about vision quest, and creating that business moving forward and cultivating wealth emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, and of course, financially. Somebody said, I was on some other webinar, and I'm not into money. Well, if you can't make money, you can't support your cause. You should be money. You should be making money. I just did a trade with Sam right now. I'm very conscious. I need to generate revenue, or my guys don't get paid. They can't make their mortgage payments now. They can't make their car payments. And we can't stay open and serve the community. You're a business. You need to make money. So don't get me wrong when I talk about relationships. I know my numbers down to the penny, right? People think, oh, this guy's crazy, some tree-hugging California kumbaya. Please make no mistake. I am a sound businessman. Cool? But the yin to the yang, man, I got to dream big. I have to disrupt. I have to create. I have to cultivate. That's the yin to the yang. But you can't do that without money. You need money. Money's a vehicle. Cool? So get the team signed up. Share this with everybody. Good, Sensei Mish, you signed up too. Love it, sir. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So K1, Blam, 1201. Before we announce our winner, let's thank our sponsors and tell everybody what's going on. What do we got going on, K1? What's the first thing you want to flash up? Sponsors? Let's do that. So today's winner, if you share this with somebody, you're going to win a 1-hour phone call with me, Brannon. It's worth $300. Thank you to my studio, Market Muscles, Kids Live Life Sales, and LC Accounting. These are sponsors that are disruptors. They're on the cutting edge, and they push beyond the boundaries of what's comfortable. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable if you're going to succeed in this world, especially now. If you're not comfortable being uncomfortable, oh man, that's a bad position to be in. And I welcome this pandemic. I welcome it. We embrace it like a best friend. We're learning to be more courageous, more resilient, we pivot, we adapt, we dig it. We dig it because we're going to come out of this thing on top. And all the schools that have closed around us, all their students are going to come to us. And that's not mean. That's the truth. And if you don't position yourself for that, to be the last person standing in your community as a martial arts school, they say 40% of the schools are closing. It's going to be 60 by the time we get through this pandemic. That's a lot of students who are displaced. So please make no mistake. And again, thank you, my studio, Market Muscles, Kids of Life Skills, LC Accounting. Social content, man. I'm big on social media, but watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. Please be super duper mindful about social media and the potential of what good it can happen, but what bad it can offer. And balance that, please, and use the tool of social media properly. You'll find me everywhere. Take a look. We're everywhere. And if you're not everywhere with social media, you're missing the boat completely. And get signed up. It's Time Live Elevate. First 50 people get what? Our new Disruptor limited edition t-shirt that people have been voting on, right? Everyone's been voting on that. And you get $50 off right now. Please take advantage of that. Once 50 people have signed up, we're closing in on that number right now. Boom, it pops up to $199 for the 2 days. Cool? All right, K1, let's get to the winner. Who is today's winner of an hour consultation with yours truly, valued at $300? Who is today's winner? Paul, Resurrection of I Am Family Martial Arts in Spring, Texas. Paul, congratulations. I love Paul. You're good people. Paul, I get to hang out with you for an hour. Everybody put in and congratulate Paul. We as disruptors, if you're not part of our disruptor group, please sign up for that. Become part of that group of disruptive thinking. To be that disruptor is super powerful. Why be sheep falling in line, being led to slaughter? This is your life. This is your space. This is your race. Why not be out there creating something new and different? Why not be the Steve Jobs of the martial arts, cultivating content that's never been done, right? Why not be the Elon Musk, and creating cars and space programs that never existed? Why not do that in the martial arts? And the yin to the yang, rooted in good traditional values, boom, but embracing innovation, as my buddy Roland Osborne would say. Cool? Hey, amazing show today. We're going to keep up this Q&A because I love it. It's my original format. Life comes full circles. So here we are. So I want to thank K1 for supporting me with all the slides, doing what he does. Thank you to everybody for being here today. Share the replay of this. Watch it again and again and again and again. Get signed up for It's Time Live Elevate, the virtual event. We have people from Australia. We have people from the UK. We have people from Switzerland and Germany. It's a worldwide event, and I'm really looking forward to serving that up to you on November 14th and 15th. Again, thank you so much to everybody. I am Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps. Until we talk again, please go out there, live your best life.